Hi there, my name is Pamela and I breed British Shorthair cats in Perth, Western Australia. I've been breeding and exhibiting my cats since 2004 and I'm even a cat show judge. I'm passionate about the cat fancy and I want to share my knowledge and experiences with you so that you can enjoy your hobby as much as I do. That's what the Cat Breeding for Beginners podcast is all about. In this series, I'm taking a moment to answer some of the most regular cat breeding questions I get asked every day. Hopefully the answers will help you too. I'm also covering some topics that are important to new cat breeders so that you can start out on the right foot. Some of the episodes are scripted and some of them are off the cuff. The audio is both good and bad, but the main thing is the information, and I'm sharing it in whatever way I can with you in mind. Hi everybody, I'm coming to you today from Mechelen in Belgium. So I'm travelled to Europe for the World Show, and I was really lucky because I've been travelling with some wonderful people, and one of those wonderful people is my friend Charlotte, and Charlotte lives in Hobart in Australia, and she breeds Oriental and Siamese cats. So it's been really fun traveling with her, and I thought I might just ask her a few questions for our podcast because Charlotte, she's not a new breeder, but Charlotte hasn't been breeding for as long as me, which is forever. So it's a really good opportunity to ask her about some of the things that she's experienced on her breeding journey. And I thought that might be really interesting for you guys because sometimes hearing from people who have different perspectives and have gone through different circumstances is a great way to learn. And we can all do better if we learn from people before we actually have to go through these things ourselves. So, Charlotte, thank you for joining me.
You're welcome.
Charlotte, let you tell everybody, how did you actually get into breeding cats in the first place? What was the story there?
Well, I went to a cat show with one of my mum's friends, just to help her at the show, and I fell in love with a lilac Oriental at the show, and I went home and I said to Mum, I want to show an Oriental cat. I've always had Orientals growing up, just as pets, but when I saw that cat, I'm like, I want to breed those and I want to show them. So
it started then.
Yeah.
How long ago? Do you remember what year that was?
It was late 2015. Gus is 6 now, so yeah.
About 6 years?
It's about 6 years ago.
Yeah, so that's sort of like most people starting out that are listening, my audience is people who are starting out having their first litters and things, but that's not too long after that, so that's a really good, still the memory of being a new breeder is still fresh in your mind. Yes. So tell me, what has been the hardest thing that you've experienced about breeding cats?
Losing kittens is the hardest thing for me. I get attached emotionally very easily.
Yeah.
And I think that if you prepare yourself, I didn't prepare myself when I had my first litter. I thought, yeah,
they were all going to be fine.
They were all going to be fine, and it just went downhill after that.
How many kittens did you lose in that litter?
2.
2.
Yeah.
And how many made it?
3.
3. So you had 5 in
kittens,
total, and you got 3 and lost 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was hard to deal with the losing the 2.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
The first one that went, she went very fast, and I think it all happened too quick.
Yeah.
For me to process it.
Yeah.
And then I lost the other one a little bit later. So.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's something that we don't talk about so much, and breeders. For you to say that you had a litter of 5 and you got 3 and lost 2.
Yeah.
That makes me sad, but that also to me just sounds a bit normal.
Yeah.
And I think I've said this 1,000 times, but cats have a lot of kittens because they don't expect them all to make it, but we expect them all to make it, and when they don't, we blame ourselves and look for reasons why and all of those things, but it's just nature sometimes.
Yeah.
But in your first litter, that can be difficult. And I remember in my very first litter all those years ago, so it's not fresh in my memory, but it's in my memory, that my first litter was a litter of 4 and I lost 1. And I remember being devastated about that and confused and why did that happen. Yeah. But if that happened again today, I would have a different feeling about it because experience teaches you that that's kind of normal. I'm still sad. And I guess if you had a litter today, you'd still be sad.
Yeah.
But maybe not the confused part as well.
Yeah, I think that it runs through your mind to say, oh my God, what have I done wrong? Like, what can I do better next time?
Yeah.
And
sometimes there are lessons to be learned.
Yeah.
I mean, I think when I first started breeding, one of the lessons I've learned along the way is that if I keep the birthing box warm, either with a warm heater in the room or snuggle safes or something like that, my kittens do better then because they lose less energy. These are all things that I didn't know at the beginning and no one told me.
My probably biggest thing would be don't interfere as much. Like, because I think that unless you have to.
Oh, yeah.
But don't be at the box 24 poking your head in because it stresses the mum out.
Yes.
I think
they can feed off our feelings.
Yeah, and I've learned to step away and only interfere when I have to now, and it's made the experience better.
And I'm the same. I now watch. I'll be there, but I'll be there watching. I'll sit in a chair and watch them and just be on my phone or something. Yeah. Or I have my camera on them. Yeah. And the camera's a really great way where you can interfere without interfering.
Yes.
Yeah, that's great. So tell me, what do you love most about the breed of cats that you breed? And you breed Siamese and Orientals, and you breed in long hair as well?
The plan is to breed long hair. I've got a long hair girl, which I'm hoping that she'll have kittens soon.
Yeah. What do you love best about those particular breeds?
Oh, I love how talkative they are. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I walk into the room and I'll call out, "Hi everyone," and they'll talk back to me.
It's a meow.
Yeah, meow. But I just love it, and I love how interactive they are. They're very much a people person.
A social breed.
Very social breed. Yeah. And you'll sit in the cattery and they'll just all pile onto your lap. And I love how social they are with other cats as well. I've got a Bengal at home and they accept him, which is really important to me because it's important that they are social and they have interactions.
And then when they go to their homes, when you're breeding them and they go to their homes, they can interact with the other cats they might have or other pets they might have. That's or children correct. Or everything. Yeah. It's funny because our breeds are kind of the polar opposite.
They are.
Because if I walk into my cattery and sit down, my cats will be like, "What?"
Yeah.
And they're not very vocal.
Yeah.
It's funny. I'd love to see one day. I do know that you have a pet owner that has one of your Orientals, I think, and has a British Shorthair.
Yes.
And they get along fine.
They get along fine.
I can't imagine. So when I go to shows, and if even at the World Show that we've just been to, we walk past people that had Siamese and Orientals, and they put them in the one cage because that's how they do it at the World Show. Yeah. And they were all cuddled up together, and there was one licking another one. Yeah. And I just thought, my cats don't behave like that. Your cats are a very kiddie pile kind of cat.
They are, and they're all, especially when there's kittens. I remember I've got this photo that they're all I had a litter of 6 and they're all piled on top of this scratching post and it's just like a pile of...
Kitty pile.
Yeah, kitty pile. And I just love how they rely on each other as well. I would never have a cat unless it's a male, like a stud cat. I always have them paired.
Yeah,
so they have company.
Absolutely.
Because they fret if they're on their own.
They're a cat that needs other cats.
Yeah.
They get in. I love seeing them all entwined together, tangled up together.
Yeah.
My cats are never going to be tangled up together. No. They're too fat. Charlotte, tell me, what has been your favourite part of your cat breeding journey?
I love seeing kittens happy in their new home.
Oh.
And it's a really big thing for me, breeding cats with nice temperaments.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I've had a few that are a bit... I've been worried that they won't settle in a new house, but... You got to give them that chance.
Yeah.
So I recently had a kitten that I rehomed and she was really, really timid in my house. And I explained to the owners, I said, look, she's timid. You need to give her a bit of time for her to settle in. Next day, I got a photo of her with the other cat curled up on the bed. And that she just settled in straight away. And I think that she needed that one-on-one time with the owner.
Yeah.
But... it's really important to me to have cats that have good temperaments, and I just love getting updates with them.
Yeah.
Coming to their new house, hey, they're so happy. It just
the photos
you get the
and
fuzzies,
like
the fuzzy feeling, like, oh my God, I've done something right.
I feel like when people take their kittens home from me, and everyone that gets my kittens comes to my house to pick them up, and I feel like I'm not selling them a kitten. I feel like I'm giving them a gift.
Yeah, or a family member.
Yes,
You're giving a part of you to that person.
Do you find it hard, we talked about before, when you lose a kitten and going through the grief of losing a kitten, do you find it hard to let people take the kittens away from you? Do you have a bit of a grieving process there as well? Or is it
yes
a happy
and no? It depends on the person as well. Like, when you first get a kitten inquiry, I can tell if they're genuine or not. Because if they send you a message and then you never hear back from them, it kind of indicates to me, oh, you're not really interested.
Yeah.
But today I got a voice message from someone. It was a minute-long voice message explaining their life situation and everything, and how much they really want a kitten.
Yeah.
And they know the breed. Like, Siamese are very... not a breed that a difficult breed, but you need to know.
It's a breed that you have to have a certain taste for.
That's correct.
And I would say the same about my cats as well, that people often think my cats, being cute, cuddly British Shorthairs, are going to behave in a certain way, and they don't. They're not always. They're not a lap cat. No. And so, and Siamese are very much a lap cat, and so it's a bit of a, people have to know exactly how that cat's going to be. If they tell you they already have had one, or they have experience of one, that's a big tick, isn't it?
I'm usually good with kittens. Like, they're going to a nice home. I found nice homes for them. I find it harder with adults.
Oh, me too.
And I've recently just rehomed 2 girls that I desexed, and they'd both gone to really lovely homes, people that I've known for a long time. Yeah. And I still cried. Oh, yeah. And they said, oh, you need to come visit her. So I do have that option to go and visit. Yeah. Which is really nice.
Rehoming adults is so... I find it... I'm stricter about where they're going. Yes. And I'm very emotional once they've gone. And I just keep telling myself I'm giving the cat this time, instead of the person getting the gift, the cat's getting the gift. And the gift is that they're going to have a wonderful time, wonderful life as a pet cat. Yeah. Yeah. So that's a bit of a difficult part of it as well. Charlotte, if there was something that you would love a new breeder to know, what would that be?
To be prepared for heartbreak. And I know that sounds really awful to say, but don't come into it thinking that everything's going to go to plan and you're going to have beautiful kittens and every kitten is going to live in that litter and everything's going to go smoothly and your life's going to be just as it was before you started breeding cats, because it's not that at all. They take up a lot of time, of your personal time. It's really hard to go away on holidays. You need to find someone that you trust to look after your animals.
Yeah, we're really lucky that we're here today.
Yes. Yeah. But enjoy the experience as well. It's a rocky road to start with, but if you're committed to it, you'll find a way to breed to breed your breed. And pick a breed and try and stick with the one breed.
Oh yeah.
Because there's a lot of people out there that they're breeding, Devon Rexes, and then they're breeding Mancoons and Burmese 3 in 1. Yeah, that might be for you, but.
It's something, you as a new breeder, it's very tempting to see something and think, I want that too. Yeah. But what you've got to realise when that happens, and this is probably a good topic for another podcast, is that when you have more than one breed, each breed you need to have at least a boy and 3 girls, for example. Yes. Then you have to have another boy and 3 girls, and another boy and 3 girls, and those ones can't use each other. So it's a whole separate enterprise for each one. Yeah. And it can be... people do it, and some people do it well. Yeah. But to do it well, you have to have a lot of cats.
And a space for them.
And space for them as well. Yeah. So I think that's a really good thing. I mean, it's different in a situation like yours where you have several breeds, but they are partner breeds. Yes. So you can have different breeds. You can have a Balinese. Yeah. And you can have an Oriental, and that's fine because they can mate together. Yeah. And but if they were 2 separate breeds, it's a difficult situation. Yeah, I think that's something that new people need to know, definitely. Yeah. And have you enjoyed your time here in Belgium?
Oh, loved it. Loved every minute of it. Yeah. It was, I don't know you've told them.
Charlotte was. If you look on my the videos that are going to come out, they're all on. I'm working on the videos because it's a lot of data to be working on. But Charlotte is actually here because she nominated to steward at the World Show, and she was accepted, which was a big honour for someone from Australia to come over and steward at a Fife World Show. It was a huge deal, and we were talking at the dinner to the person that was one of the show's main organisers, and he did say to us, he said, as soon as we saw there was someone from Australia willing to come over and steward for us, he said, I said to the committee, we have to have this person. She has to come and steward from us. So they invited Charlotte to steward, and she did an amazing job, and I've got her in lots of videos where she's carrying the cats around or doing things. And it was an interesting experience.
It was, yeah. The first day was mostly paperwork, which I didn't really understand because most of it was a system that I wasn't familiar with. But the second day was all the panel judging. So
I know that bit.
I handled 3 beautiful cats. I handled a female Maine Coon first. And then I handled a Neuter Burmese female and a beautiful Balinese kitten.
Oh, yeah,
and
that was lovely.
I wanted to take him home.
And this was in front of, and I think I have video of this. So Charlotte's bringing out cats and handling them for the judges, and the judges come along and handle them. And this is in front of hundreds of people. Like, they had bleachers set up, hundreds of people.
Everyone in their costumes.
Yeah, everybody dressed up. And you can imagine the pressure on a steward to present that cat and present that cat well, and control that cat when there's music, there's cheering, there's screaming, there's... they even had music for the judging. They had dramatic effect music. It was fantastic. Suspenseful music. And all of this is going on, and there's all these other cats on the stage as well, and the steward has to be the one controlling that cat. And they made it look so easy, but I'm certain it wasn't. Yeah. So I've had a really fun trip. I've seen so many cats. I've met lots of people, and just really, really enjoyed it. It was great. And
our suitcases
are absolutely full. We're going down to breakfast now, and we're going out to go get our last item of shopping. We're in Belgium. We're going to the chocolate shop, and we're stocking up to go home. And then we've got a long flight. To get here was 36 hours for me of travelling. I'm hoping that it might be a bit less going back, but we don't know yet. So we're getting on a flight this afternoon, and our travel home will begin. But it's been a wonderful trip, and it's been so great to be sharing it with other breeders as well that are breeding other cats. There's another lady that's travelling with us that breeds Maine Coons. So the thing about cats is that, and we've said this 1,000 times this whole week, is that we're currently in Mechelen in Belgium. There is no way in my life I would be here if it wasn't for the cats. There's no way. Cats take you around the world, take you to places that you never thought you were going to go. Even if you're a breeder in your own country, it'll take you to places that you've never visited for shows and things. And you'll meet people that you never expected you'd meet, and you'll make friendships that you never expected to meet. So Charlotte and I are good friends because we met through another good friend who was a wonderful breeder in Adelaide, and we love her, and we met through her, and then now we're here in Belgium together. So that's how it works with cats. They give you more than just kittens.
They give you lifelong friendships.
Yeah, it's a rewarding hobby, and if you take the hobby as a whole, and it's not just the breeding, it's the showing, it's the social part of it. If you get the hobby as a whole, even when you do have the sad moments like losing kittens, the whole thing is so rewarding and just brings, I find it brings a lot of joy to my life, and I'm sure you're the same.
Yes, it does. Yeah. And I think the most joy that it brings me is, I don't know, I find that the cats that I own, they're just a joy to own, and I just love them so much. Yeah. And you're the same as well.
I can see it in the way that you are with them. Yeah, you love them, and it's and the whole thing is it's just a rewarding hobby. I don't like to say it's like, I know I say it's fun, but it's rewarding. There's ups and downs and goods and bad. Yeah. But there's more bad. There's more good than bad.
Well, there's more good than bad. The balance, isn't it? Yeah. You can't have a
one
good without. Yeah, exactly.
Well, thank you so much, Charlotte, for letting me have you
welcome.
as my first guest on my podcast. I'm sure the people listening would have loved that and got a bit out of that. And hopefully, if they have any questions, they will put them in the comments below. I'm going to be making my way back to Australia later today. So there's lots more videos and things coming up from my journey to the World Show. And then I guess I'll resume normal programming with more information about normal stuff. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys later, but make sure that you ask any questions below. I'll be providing Charlotte's contact information as well if you're interested in chatting to her about Siamese or Oriental cats or anything you like. Okay, guys, bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Charlotte.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Cat Breeding for Beginners podcast. Make sure you visit my website at catbreedingforbeginners.com for lots more information. You can sign up to my email list and stay tuned as my Cat Breeding 101 online course is coming soon.